Hi, and welcome to Transition to Armlock Putting. This is our second video. What we're going to talk to today is the difference between putters, between a conventional putter and armlock, and why it's important to get fitted properly if you plan to go armlock. With a conventional putter, it's really very simple. The shaft is vertical. Ball position is pretty easy. It's the center of your feet or anywhere forward of that typically, depending on your preference. And the only thing that really matters with this putter is how you're comfortable in terms of your height and your posture, is how long you want that putter, and that's how long you get it and you putt. Now, one of the differences you'll find, and I'll show you, is the geometry between a conventional and an armlock putter. You'll notice that when I grip the putter, there's an angle between this shaft, which like I said is vertical, and my left arm because it comes off of my left shoulder. Regardless of where the ball position is, even if it's forward, you still have some degree of angle. Now, if you go to an armlock putter, clearly by its name, it is intended to be locked to your arm like this. So if you can imagine, tape this putter to my arm and I putt and it stays in that configuration. Now because it's locked to your left arm, like I said, you've got an angle between your arm and the putter shaft typically when it's vertical. If I lock it to my left arm, two things happen. The shaft leans forward and it obviously de-lofts the putter face. So if you were to go online, order an armlock putter, typically what you would find is what manufacturers do is they increase the loft of the putter so that when the shaft leans forward, there's the loft that you take off of it is put back on in the manufacturing process. Allows the ball to not bounce when you hit it and knock it down into the green. And that's how you putt. Well, what I found, whether you put the ball in the center of your stance and have your arm forward, but even if the loft is proper, putting like this made me feel like my left arm is out too far in front of the ball, the putter shaft trails. And it didn't matter where I was, even forward is worse. Just didn't feel comfortable with me, couldn't do it. So what I did, or what I stumbled on, was moving the ball forward in my stance. Always have been a forward ball putter, typically. Allows me to get the shaft more vertical. Allows my loft to go back fairly normal. And just lock it in my arm like this and putt. Now, like I said, ball position is certainly a personal preference. My uncle, God rest his soul, was a great putter with a conventional putter. It had the ball actually outside of his left foot. So that only matters to you in terms of how it feels. My point is, if you want a more conventional feel with an armlock putter and don't want to have the forward shaft with loft increased, you can go more vertical, but what you have to do is you have to get the ball a little bit more forward in your stance because it's difficult to do it back here. Now, there is a workaround to that. I just discovered this a few weeks ago, although I played with it myself. There's a grip, a pistol grip, that actually extends the left side of the putter grip outward. I'm just going to show you this in terms of spacing. What it does, allows your shaft to become more vertical, fills this space in with what is actually the putter grip, so you can get the putter back in your stance a little bit more and still have it feel locked to your arm. Obviously, if you take this away, it goes like this, and you've got more forward shaft in it. So that's another way to address this problem. My point is, if you go armlock, you have to be comfortable with how you hold that shaft. If you people pick up my putter, they try it, oh, I could never do this, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but my height, my preference on where I want this putter is very specific to me. When I putt, I promise you half the people I play with don't even know I use Armlock. It looks very conventional, stroke is very conventional, but it works so much better for me. And I have so much more control, speed and distance, than I ever had conventional. So what we'll do next time, I want to talk about how very easily at home you can take a broken shaft or half of an alignment stick and get a feel for using your own putter what Armlock feels like. We'll do that. If you decide you want to go forward from that point, pretty easy to get some modifications made to your putter, or eBay has some that are pretty close to ready-made, and give Armlock a try. If you have trouble putting and you're listening to this, there's probably a pretty good reason. So we'll see what happens with next lesson. Thanks for listening today and take care.